everyone and welcome back. My people, we are still talking about Nigeria matter. This is a powerful speech from Dele Farotimi at the public symposium titled Afenifere, Identity, Ideas and Ideology. According to Dele Farotimi, he said that Nigeria under Tinubu is worse than Abacha'S regime in suppressing free will, as he lamented the urgent need for unity, ideological clarity, and citizen-led action. And also they defended and they explained the reason why they supported P2B in 2023 elections, saying that it was Southeastern under the leadership of late Pa Ayo Adebanjo. So my people, let me allow you guys to listen and hear everything they said in this particular video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and also leave your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for doing so.
It was a defining moment for Afenifere to determine where a Yoruba personality like Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was contesting, and for Afenifere to root for a personality of Igbo extraction and said that was our candidate. It was not that easy, but it took a personality like Ayo Adebanjo to get all of us to agree on that. Let me say quite clearly that people have been saying Afenifere is socio-political, is this and that. To Ayo Adebanjo, Afenifere is a political party. Am I correct? All the Afenifere in the house, am I correct? You can't go to Baba and say, Baba will just tell you, it is because of the kind of constitution that we have, where you need to meet certain criteria before INEC can register you. He said, therefore, Afenifere is a political party. And to demonstrate that, at every point in time, Afenifere had never been non-partisan. Afenifere had never sat on the fence. There was a time Afenifere supported Atiku. Am I correct? At another time, he supported Jonathan. What was important to Afenifere and to our leader is that you must agree that Nigeria is a country of entrenched ethnic nationalities, and that what is best suited for Nigeria is true federalism. Once you agree, you are going to restructure. Once you agree, you are going to restructure along the foundational covenant of true federalism. Afenifere will support you. Now, on the 31st of May 2021, a meeting of the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum was called at Sheraton Hotel in Abuja. A decision was going to be taken on which region of Nigeria will produce the next president after Buhari. Of course, Edwin Clark of blessed memory led. Chief Ayo Adebanjo was his deputy on the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum. Ambassador George Obiozo of Ohaneze Ndigbo and Drs. Pogu Bitrus for Middle Belt Forum. That meeting held in Abuja for 2 days. At the end of the day, they resolved that the next president of Nigeria will come from Southern Nigeria, and for that reason, no person from Southern Nigeria in any political party must accept the position of national chairman of any party or the vice presidential candidate. We came back. It was therefore the need for us to determine if the thing comes to the south, where will it go? For 14 months on, and let me check my record, and I have that at the Secretariat, at the Secretary General, on the 29th of July 2021, Professor Okuromu presented a paper at the National Caucus of Afenifere in Chief Adebanjo's place at Isonyaugbo. And for 14 months, we debated which part, as at that time, Peter Obi had not made any declaration. We debated which part of the country would the next president of Nigeria come from. We have agreed it will come from the south. And let me again say that Afenifere is constituted by men of different political persuasion. But like in Yoruba land, when Afenifere takes a decision, They will say, Awo ni won. What is the meaning of Awo? Once, no matter your own view, once that decision is taken, you are bound by it. As at that time, not all of us, we were not even members of Labour Party. I'm correct. But that was the decision. For 14 months, there was rigorous debate. And on the 26th of September 2022, after we have agreed, a press conference was called in Lagos. Chief Ayo Adebanjo unfolded the decision of Afenifere, and it was articulated like this. If you say that the next president of Nigeria will come from the south, on the basis that the man who held that position is from the north, when it comes to the south, the same equity that determines the decision not to take it back to the north must be at play in the south. And then we did an x-ray. General Obasanjo was there for the southwest. Jonathan was was president in the south-south. The logical conclusion is that the next president of Nigeria will come from the southeast. Afenifere took that decision and we made it public. I was going to ask a question from Baba's children, because a lot of things happened. There was no name we were not called. There was no name, Omale. You know what all of that means? We stood our grounds. At the point, they said Baba's mother was an Igbo woman. Is that correct? Is your grandmother? They said Baba's mother was an Igbo woman. After they have even said Obasanjo's father was from the east. But those are the kind of things Afenifere faced. When some of our people were becoming ambivalent, Baba asked a question. He said, in the NYM, where all of them were Nigerian Youth Movement, he said there was a time to take a decision between Ernest Okoli and Akinsoya to go to the assembly. So at that stage, Chief Awolowo supported Ernest Okoli from the east. He was from Nembe in the present Bayelsa state. And Chief Nnamdi Azikiwe and Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe and others supported Akinsoya. At the end of the day, Ernest Okoli won. Notwithstanding that he was older than Awolowo in age, because of that singular steadfastness, he opted to becoming a member of the Action Group. So Baba informed us, said the time has come now for us to do like Awolowo did. If we x-ray the situation and we believe that the equity favors the southeast, irrespective of what anybody says, we are going for the southeast. We took that decision. Some of us were sent to radios and television to articulate it, which we did to the best of our ability, or sent to some other groups who were not members of the Labour Party after we have adopted him. One of them is seated before us here. If he doesn't mind me mentioning his name, I was sent to His Excellency, the former governor of Osun State, to go to his house. He engaged me from 8 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. And he saw the reason in the decision taken by Afenifere. So many other people, we were sent out. By the way, I was the Southwest coordinator of Ubidati, and my brother Oshutuku was Director General. But those are the tasks that Baba put on us for the purpose of one Nigeria.
Before Baba Adebanjo died, we were already talking about this symposium. And what informed the need for those discussions were the misunderstandings that were already attending and dogging the path of Afenifere. Not long before Baba's demise, I took the role as the National Organizing Secretary of Afenifere. A few weeks after Baba passed on, it became imperative that even with his passage, attempts must be made to ensure that the clouds, so to say, that has beclouded the people's understanding of Afenifere, his ideology, his history, and especially his role in Nigeria to be cleared up. So we decided that we must have today to celebrate Baba, his life, the ideals by which he lived, and to ensure that those ideals are carried forward in a manner that accords with the understanding of the people so that we do not do violence to his memory. I was given the luxury of picking my own topic, and I took for myself the future of Afenifere. Speaking to the future of Afenifere at this time is of extreme importance. Nigeria is in a place where our people will say, Tiwaju oba se lo, eyin a se pada si. If you do not know where you're going, you must of necessity know where you are coming from. There is an American, his name is Per Buck. He said, and I will quote, if you want to understand today, you have to search yesterday. This rain has been beating the vulture for a while. But what rain has been beating the vulture? When Afenifere came into being 74 years ago, it was in response to emergent scenarios within what is today Nigeria. There were challenges that were already threatening the corporate existence of that imagined country. It hadn't even gotten its independence at the time. There was talks of a unitary system. There was talk of separation. Federalism was the middle ground position, and it was put forward by no other than Chief Obafemi Awolowo and the Action Group. Today, you needn't look too far away. When you look around Nigeria, you find that the foundational problem we have today is that everybody is being forced to wearing the same size. So it's become a one-size-fits-all. The prescription of the center must always be accepted. So instead of having the multiple nations that were battered in this space, what we have today is one behemoth that has made life almost impossible for everybody. So what is the relevance of Afenifere in today's Nigeria? One of the first things that have happened to us as a collective in Nigeria is the destruction of common platforms. Almost every organization that could be made available for the people to chart a course out of the mess that we've been plunged into have been systematically destroyed. But I believe that Afenifere has a role in the future, if there is going to be a future for Nigeria. In the first place, Afenifere is going to be at the forefront of putting pressure on this existing system that has discounted the place of citizens. In discounting the place of citizens, it has also assured that the judicial system has been destroyed. The destruction of the judicial system has guaranteed that the law does not rule in Nigeria. These guarantees have assured that each and every Nigerian, wherever they may come from, whether they be Yoruba, Igbo, Fulani, or even Ijaw, have been left with devalued lives. We live in a country today where persons hauling arms around are euphemistically referred to as hunters. Exactly what game they are hunting in the Nigeria that we have found ourselves in today, we do not know. We live in a Nigeria today where even though we claim that we have a state, nobody's lives are safe. People sleep sometimes one eye open, or perhaps with both eyes fully opened, simply because the state has failed in its most basic of duties, which is to protect the lives and properties of those who are trapped within its territory. In the Nigeria that we have today, The president wakes up one day and summarily pronounces decisions that are completely at variance with the constitution that we are already bellyaching is illegitimate. So even the basic adherence to basic principles, where we know exactly by what rules we are governed, is already lost. I can recount each and every one of the many reasons why we all need to band together, but that will not address the subject I've been given. The subject is, what is the role of Afenifere in all of this? I'll remind you, in 1993, after Abacha had taken over, I believe that was on the 17th of November, 93, Nigerians were crying in their separate parts, and people had different arguments and complaints, but it took one tendency to act as a bond to bring together the disparate groups that were dissatisfied with the Nigeria that was foisted on us with the annulment of the election. That group was Afenifere. It was the dominant group in what became NADECO. Where we are today is worse than where we were in 1993. History has come full circle. Between 1993 and 2023, you have 30 years. But in those 30 years, the exact same thing that precipitated the crisis in 1993 has happened again in 2023. The will of the people stopped mattering. When the will of a people do not matter, the very foundation of society is threatened. Afenifere's duty in this season is to help the Nigerian people to find a way to recognize the commonalities of their affliction, so that they are not speaking at cross purposes, even when they ought to be speaking to free each other or acting to free each other. Let me be clear, and I'll get out of your faces with this. When we allow the distractions that are usually employed to take hold, instead of speaking to our freedom, we would ultimately speak to our divisions. Those who profit by reducing our capacities as human beings, it's not even talking about our capacities as citizens. Our capacities as human beings are constrained by what we have allowed to happen to us. So it is critical that Afenifere offers everybody a platform. Now, please, it doesn't matter what part of Nigeria you're from. Those people before me eminently have made clear to you, Afenifere was not founded for the Yorubas. It was founded for Nigerians. It was founded to save us from ourselves. We are asking you that just as we made ourselves available as a platform in 1993, if you look at where we are today, you shouldn't need us to tell you that there is a critical need to come together again, find common purposes as Nigerians, because that's where we are today, and then look for a way out of where we are. Chief Ayo Adebanjo spent his life, the better part of his life, over 70 years of that, committed to this ideal. He never walked away from it. All the times that we were busy bellyaching about what was happening to us, the late 2020, 2021, I remember, and I can still hear Baba's voice in my head. Organize. Go and organize yourselves. He was constantly telling us about the need to organize ourselves. What we've done today has been done in his memory, but he has played his part and he has left. What we do with the charge he has left behind is entirely up to us. But what we as Afenifere are offering you today is an opportunity to work with us, to find common ground, to find common purpose, so that we might all save ourselves from where we are today. This is not desirable. Thank you very much.